What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some of the dumbest things that Americans have ever said. So, here in the United States, it's just a fact that some of us say really ignorant things. So today, I want to take a look at some examples of just the stupidest things that my fellow Americans have actually posted on the internet. So let's take a look. Starting with this post that says, American here, not sure how the rest of you live with free healthcare? What? What do you... Really? You can't wrap your mind around how a lot of other countries in the world actually have access to healthcare and everybody in the country can actually get the care that they need and not go bankrupt? Really? You don't understand that? That's too crazy? This is okay. This has to do with healthcare in America, and this is already getting me worked up. It says, if no one's paying, what incentive do doctors have to keep you alive? What? Oh my God! What a horrible, twisted outlook on humanity. If no one's paying, why would doctors keep you alive? I don't know, just because they're normal, decent human beings? And if they're doctors, they've dedicated their entire life to helping people and administering medical care. It's not all about the money, for one thing. Also, there's two things here. This American can't imagine that people actually do nice things out of the kindness of their heart. They can't imagine that people don't do everything just for money. That's one thing. Another thing is, in countries that have free healthcare, or typically taxpayer-funded healthcare, you could say, universally covered, taxpayer-funded healthcare, doctors are still paid. This American doesn't even understand how universal free healthcare works in other countries. And yet this American is online ranting about it without even knowing how it actually works. That is literally the worst thing you can do. And it feels like a lot of Americans do that. You want world-class treatment? Then you should earn it. This isn't some charity? Oh my God. Okay, there's so much to dissect here. It's honestly such a twisted, worldview on healthcare that this person has. That everyone shouldn't have access to healthcare? That's basically one of the primary reasons for even forming a government. Is providing social services like healthcare. That's why you even do it. They go on. They keep going. Hospitals are businesses. Oh my God, that is such. Yeah, in America, and it's not good. That's not a good thing. He's saying he's saying it like this is a fact. It's not a fact. It's only a fact and a reality in the United States. And he's saying it like it's a good thing. Hospitals are businesses. Their job is to attract high-paying clients, not babysit freeloaders? This is horrible and one of the dumbest things I've ever read. I am now stupider for having read this. It is bad that hospitals are businesses. Health care is not like buying a new pair of pants. It's not that you don't have to buy a new fancy pair of pants, and that business who sells the pants can raise and lower and control the prices, and it's not that big of a deal because, you don't have to buy it. Healthcare, you need healthcare. Every human needs it to live. You need it on your worst day ever, or as you're getting older, or if you just come down with some kind of random injury or ailment. It's not something you can just decide that whether you want it or not. When you need healthcare, you need healthcare. And that's why it is very, very, very different from normal commodities and services, and why it should be controlled by the government. It's like the perfect example of something that the government should have oversight on, and that should be accessible to everyone. This is so not even controversial to say. Only in America would people argue over this, I swear. And most Americans don't even like our healthcare system. It somehow kind of works. Kinda, if you have healthcare insurance, usually through your job. Everyone needs healthcare insurance. Every American is terrified of going to the hospital and ending up with some kind of huge bill. Or we're all terrified that our healthcare isn't going to be covered fully or correctly by our healthcare coverage. There's all these crazy things, and it feels like only in America have we accepted our system as normal. Whereas, from what I understand, in a lot of other parts of the world, the way we do it is very strange, and I completely see why. In America, you'll be pretty much okay if you have money, but it completely and utterly screws people who are doing bad financially, and then they're completely wrecked financially by going to get healthcare if they don't have the proper insurance. Or in America, if you go to the emergency room, even if you have healthcare coverage, you can get sent home with $1,000 bill. Who has an extra $1,000 laying around? That ruins most people's lives right there. Let alone getting like cancer or something and ending up in debt $50,000. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about this one, but this is one of the stupidest things Americans have ever said right here for many different reasons. And I think it gets me worked up because it's not really a discussion that we're having in the United States trying to change our healthcare system. And when people do talk about it, it's stupid opinions like this. Jeez. That's bad. Let's keep going, though. Let's see if we can get through this. What are some of the other stupidest things Americans have ever posted on the internet? Is English your first language? No, I'm an American. Why did you ask this question? What? No, this is not, no. Tell me that they didn't answer like this. Is English your first language? No. The person underneath is experiencing the same shock that I am. What? What do they think that in the United States we that we speak American? Like, what do you? They're literally. Okay, maybe this is an American who happens to speak Spanish or some other language that, some Americans speak, but the way that they answered this, is English your first language? No, I'm American. And they're answering in English. And what do they think? What do they think we speak here? I think they think that we speak American in America. Yeah. I don't know how to even interpret that one. That one's like too stupid for me to even bring myself down to that level and understand. I don't. Okay. Spending time in Italy made me realize American Italian food is way better than Italian food in Italy. I was very surprised. Oh, God. This is the this is the worst thing you could say after going to Italy. Oh my god, this must make Americans sound so bad. So this American went to Italy and they tried Italian food, authentic Italian food in Italy. And what they got out of that experience was that oh my god, the fake Italian food in America. Like in America, we have knockoffs of a lot of different food. We have American Chinese food, we have American Mexican food, we have American Italian food. Like basically restaurants that try to replicate these foods and just make the American version, which is really dumbed down and simple and much more sugar and sweeter and fattier and for Americans. So in America, we have our version of Italian food, but God, what does this mean that Americans don't even like the actual authentic Italian food in Italy? I think genuinely our taste buds have been ruined. I think that's what it means. We're ruined. Like we prefer the fake version rather than the authentic stuff from Italy. And I could see this happening to a lot of Americans because it's inevitable if you live here in the United States and you eat the food here, especially the processed food, you develop a taste for how food is made in America. And it's very, I mean, from what I understand, we do things to our food that's illegal in other countries. So I think all of our taste buds are ruined. I think that's what this is saying. And this is not something you should post on the internet. This is very embarrassing to be like, I like the fake American Italian food more than the Italian version. That is, you should not be proud of that. You should be hiding that. Okay. This is a video? Oh, it's a video. It says, wait, you're telling me they speak Spanish in Spain? Oh, God, what is this?
So this is going to sound dumb, and I fully acknowledge that. But there's a lot more Spanish in Spain than I expected. Or I guess what I mean is there's a lot less English. And that is my American privilege. I'm used to people just as soon as they know I don't speak their language, they revert to English. And that is not happening so much here. And they're kind of just saying, tough.
Oh my God. I'm actually getting concerned for America. this is not good. I'm kind of speechless. This American traveled to Spain. This is what happens when Americans, when we finally branch out and go to other cultures. Because Americans, we're kind of famous for not knowing anything about the rest of the world. And it's true. We're very much trapped in our American bubble here. A lot of us don't really travel outside of the United States. But when we finally go, she finally goes to Spain, and she is surprised people speak Spanish in Spain. And what's worse is that she thinks other countries with other languages should speak English and accommodate us. This is exactly why Americans have such a bad reputation. This is exactly why we have a bad reputation for things like this. This assumption that the world revolves around America and that everyone should cater to us. If you go to another country, this shouldn't even have to be said. When you go to another country, you have to understand the local culture. You have to understand how to behave yourself, and you have to understand the language and how it works. And it's so bad. It's so bad. Because if people from other countries come to America and don't act American, we get upset. And yet Americans think we should be able to travel to Spain and not even hear Spanish? Obvious. Oh my, I can't believe that Americans actually post this stuff on the internet. Like, how shameless are we? That's so bad. But let's keep going. This says, all I know is an American can walk into a pub in the UK, can walk into any pub in the UK, any bar in Australia, with their head held high and pat themselves on the back, when just over 4 years ago, I'd sit in the corner and hear Americans being the butt of jokes? What? Proud to be an American and thrilled to be respected as an American again. What are you talking about? What is this American? What? What reality do they live in? What? This American thinks that Americans are more respected than ever? Now? Right now? What do you think's been going on, especially for the last 8 months? What? If anything, Americans are less respected than ever. I think more people around the world don't like us more than ever. What is it? What? Where has this American been living? Under a rock? What? They think Americans are more respected than ever? Right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Some Americans just live in a fantasy land. Like a complete and total lack of awareness of what other people think of us. And that's not good. It's not good at all. Let's see here. This says, bruh, we wrote the dictionary. Be quiet. Oh my God. This is such a troll. So this is an American saying, bruh, we wrote the dictionary. Shut up. What are you talking about? This somebody responded, thank goodness, and said, the most used dictionary in the world is the Oxford English Dictionary. It's the one most used in America. Exactly. Yes, I know the Oxford English Dictionary. It's not even written in the United States, right? It is written by professors at Oxford University in England. Yeah, that's what I thought. The dictionary that we use in America, the most famous one, is the Oxford English Dictionary. And that's not even made in America. I don't know. I think what's so bad about a lot of these posts are Americans that have a big opinion based on something that is completely wrong. They're basing it on something they know nothing about, or that they're literally don't understand at all, or have the opposite idea. You can't make this up. But I think, for the sake of my sanity, that is it. That was crazy. Even as an American living in the United States, a lot of people here aren't that dumb. A lot of people are really smart and normal, but it shocks me, how stupid the stupidest Americans are, and actually write this stuff online and give us all a really bad name. It's quite bad, but hopefully I kind of set the record straight a little bit today. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these stupid things Americans have posted. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.